Dana White might not engage in a fight in the ring, but it has become increasingly obvious over time that the UFC president has a very difficult job. Dana has succeeded in getting his name more frequently in the news, whether he is coping with the massive amount of ego or attempting to deal with the myriad problems that overwhelm UFC each year. Here are 10 times Dana White shocked the MMA. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Abu Dhabi Incident. Dana was incensed because he refused to put the belt around the Brazilian's waist after the long-established Anderson Silva left a major UFC event in Abu Dhabi in tatters with a very bizarre performance against Damian Maia. Number 9. The Money Fight. In some ways, it should have been clear to Dana how many issues he would create for himself by allowing Conor McGregor to fight Floyd Mayweather in one of the biggest fighting events of all time. We all believe that Dana would never allow one of his biggest stars to set a major precedent by dabbling in boxing. And still, he carried it out. In the Conor McGregor advertising banner, he collaborated with Mayweather Promotions. This altered everything for good and sparked new discussions about fighter independence and money, which Dana tries to steer clear of. Number 8. Done his responsibilities. We were all left with a bad aftertaste from the Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos and Benoit Santani fight at UFC 267 after the French prodigy was forced to accept some potentially career-altering damage in a one-sided hammering. The way the referee in issue had shielded the boxer was admirable. The referee's opportunity to compete in the UFC was snuffed out by Dana right away. Number 7. Never give up. It's absurd to think that Dana would ever challenge the light heavyweight champion in the UFC. But the MMA community was stunned when the president decided to box against Tito Ortiz a few years ago. Tito, though, was unwilling to agree to the bout. Because he was Tito's coach, Dana felt confident that he would. Unfortunately, there was no fight. Number 6. Buying the advertisement. You could have predicted how far the sport of MMA would go when Dana White and the Fortina brothers decided to invest $2 million in it. The sport was widely regarded as being far too brutal for popular consumption. To suggest that Dana and company made the UFC into a significant success story as soon as they got their hands on it would be an understatement. Dana might oversee all of the UFC's positive developments over the following 2 decades, finally bringing it to the point where it would be sold to WME-IMG for $4.2 billion. Many people were perplexed by the move to purchase the UFC. But after years of steady development and achievement, Dana's early instincts were shown to be keen. Number 5. This is an opportunity, not a career. Dana left it to all of us to know exactly what he believed when reminding his competitors that a seat in the UFC is a chance, not a career, during a discussion that was ongoing regarding fighter pay and some of his athletes' refusal to compete during the COVID-19 outbreak. The media, the boxers, and the spectators all received this poorly. Number 4. Dana is a big gambler. Dana is not the same guy he appears to be when operating behind closed doors. Joe Rogan, a longtime color commentator for the UFC, discussed how crazy things can go in Dana's life when he disclosed that White is an avid gambler in an episode of his podcast. Dana was so skilled at blackjack that several prestigious casinos in his hometown of Las Vegas forbade him from gambling. Dana would always refuse to allow the UFC to stage the contested contests. Nevadans have taken notice of Dana's infamous presence. Number 3. Signing Ben Askren. Rewinding to 2016, it is improbable to see Dana White and Ben Askren having a friendly conversation. We all agreed on that. Before quitting the sport 2 years after his dismal UFC career, Ashur was regarded as possibly the greatest fighter outside of the UFC. Therefore, it came as a surprise to us to learn that Dana and Askren had finally chosen to collaborate. Number 2. Dana got furious. Dana becomes enthused when discussing what it means to be a boxer. Sometimes, he only does it so he can criticize athletes who decline battles. Dana felt pressured to emphasize how great of an opportunity these fighters had during the first season of The Ultimate Fighter. Some of these competitors had no idea they would be required to compete on the show. That implies that they must compete for no compensation. Dana became enraged after learning that. He convened a conference with the actors right away and asked them outright whether they had any issues with being asked to fight, before going on to specify what was required of them specifically if they wished to pursue a life as fighters. Number 1. Dana being Dana. The Jon Jones-related disaster at UFC 232 was on a different plane of privilege. Only a few days before what should have been a Las Vegas event featuring Jon Jones' return, the polarizing star managed to test positive for minute levels of the same chemical that Sam used to strip him of the championship he won by defeating Daniel Cormier in UFC 214. This happened as a result of a pulsating effect that wasn't brought on by ingesting the same illegal chemical. Jones cannot participate because of a ban by the Nevada Athletic Commission. Dana, therefore, determined that the wisest course of action would be to quickly shift the entire event to California. People were astonished by this in general. So guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.